Should we try to make this one? We talked a lot about
like inner society,
like capitalism
racial
and racial tensions in America.
Should second half be like way more fun?
Yeah, we should just make it way more fun.
We're four like white passing dudes.
Yeah,
talking about
Tony and I had. We shared a week ago or whatever. We shared a bond that we hadn't in many years. We played a video game together up until like 4 a.m. or something.
That's so cute.
With our buddy Tristan that we've talked about. We played Gang Beasts, our favorite game. I'll say our new favorite game, but we've been playing it for years.
What is this game?
Dude, you would love it.
Yeah, everyone, if you don't know what it is, look it up now. Yeah,
we need more. We need more cross-platform games.
We need more, like that you
we can play together
on your PC. We can play together. I don't know why that every game doesn't have that. It's 2022, people.
We can play Fall Guys.
We can play Fall Guys, which is fun. And I think free or something. I have that. So, hey, maybe we'll get on that. That's another very silly-ass game. But if you like Fall Guys, Gang Beasts is the option.
Dude, my girlfriend and I played the other day. Like the other day, we were playing Gang Beasts for like an hour. And it started with an hour. Actually, I think it ended up being like 2 hours.
It always is.
But we were playing it. At first, like anyone who plays Gang Beasts, this will be your first reaction. It's going to be, what the fuck is this game? Like, I don't understand.
What the fuck is this?
It's kind of like, have you played Co-op?
Yes.
Do you guys know Co-op? I don't know. It's
like
an OG
Classic.
reference.
The famous browser game.
Yeah, classic.
It seems like it's like completely meaningless.
Yeah, like derpy controls, weird, wiggly, just silly shit. Like, who the fuck made this game?
I like that.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you get a sensibility. And then, like, similar to Gang Beast, you got to play Gang Beast.
Yeah.
Okay,
you gotta
it sounds like I got to play
You're going
it.
to love this game. It's the weirdest, like, the physics of it just it makes some sense, but it takes like 3 hours of gameplay, and then you're having the most fun.
Then you're, like, laughing. So, like, my stomach hurt from laughing, and my face hurt from smiling after that long session. But what I was going to say was, I couldn't think of the last time I was, like, gaming till, like, that late. And then it got me thinking about how when we were kids, Tony and I, when we're about to out ourselves as ultimate nerd kids, but when we were kids, we would like intentionally like make a plan to stay up late, and be like, yeah, dude, like tonight we're gonna stay up late, because I'm trying to get delirious tonight, dude. Like, I want to have a wild night. Like, let's just get fucking delirious, bro. As if we were, like, getting high. You know? Like, we thought we were so cool
sleep
when
deprivation.
we were 13
It
and
was
12
let's get delirious.
Let's get, bro, tonight, like, I don't know, but, like, let's get delirious.
You guys were like
let's
Prince.
Is that what he did?
We
Get
had great
delirious.
vocab.
It's true. We learned
It's kind of amazing that we knew that word when we were, like, 12.
We were like,
Delirious.
yeah, dude, tonight, man. Around 3 a.m., we're going to get a little delirious. Yeah, dude, that shit's
Well,
gonna
we
be
started drinking
fucking-
at 14, and I remember years of getting delirious, so it must have been like from like 11. You know what I mean?
Early, yeah, we must have been
Gotta
on
be
that
young.
shit early of trying to get like a high.
Which, by the way, I don't recommend drinking at 14. It's definitely not cool to do
No.
that.
The first time I had alcohol was I had my older brother gave me a Four Loko, and I was like 13, which Four Loko, like, they were legal, and then I think they were banned for a while.
Yeah.
Like, they're an illegal beverage, and I think they brought them back, but the recipe's different.
The recipe's different, yeah.
But it is like sweet. Is it an energy drink alcohol? But it's like so sweet. It's like candy. It just tastes like.
It's
candy.
like espresso martini.
It's like an espresso martini, but
But just
way
like
worse.
like the Mountain Dew version.
I don't know, Zane.
it's like an espresso martini, but
no,
illegal.
it's way worse.
Every
like-
time I drink it, like if I have like one espresso martini, the next day I'm gonna have the biggest headache.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know how you don't get hungover the way I do. That
I got-
night we went out, I was done the next day. I couldn't do anything.
I was kind of hungover.
I was
the next
upper
day.
I woke up
downer.
and I was like,
I didn't feel great. But it was just because we drank so many different things. We had rye at the first bar, mezcal, Amaro, and then Negroni.
Okay,
I had
let
a
me tell you guys-
Negroni.
let me tell you guys
Oh
something.
my
And
god!
then
Zane, we
had
went to
wine.
Zane's friend's bar.
Yeah.
Or not his bar, but he works at the bar, right? Super cool looking dude. Just like cool vibes, cool guy vibes, right? The whole time I was like, oh my God, this guy rules. You know? Who shall remain nameless. But I want to run past a situation with you. You know, we were checking out and he poured like 2 shots, right? And he was like, all right, for the road. Because, you know, when you got the homie working at the bar, usually you might get like a shot, right?
Get like a connect, yeah.
Something out of it, right? And obviously, look, this wasn't my friend, but like we were at the bar, and I happened to notice like me and Zane were standing there paying, and he poured 2 shots, and then he didn't include me. And him and Zane took a shot together, and I was standing right there. And it's like, well, look, I didn't even listen to me. I didn't even want the shot. I'm the biggest lightweight. I suck at drinking.
Yeah.
I think I had like 4 drinks that night, and I was hungover the entire next
fucked
day.
up. Yeah.
But I was offended a little bit.
The fact that he
Now, Zane and I have already talked about this. You want to defend yourself really quick? And then I want to get your guys.
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't need to defend himself.
I'm sorry, defend him.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the context of this. He's my coworker at my other job, at my job, and this is his other job. We were talking earlier that day about different Amaros, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I had the Angostura Amaro, which Angostura is like the bitters used in like an old fashioned or any kind of like classic whiskey cocktails."
Right.
And they have an Amaro, and he was like, yeah, it doesn't taste like anything. It just tastes like an Amaro. And I was like, that's really funny. And we laughed about it for a while.
Yeah.
And we were talking about other Amaros, and we were like, yeah, it just tastes like an Amaro. Like Amaro just tastes like something, and that's what it tastes like.
That's that.
And it tastes like it's boring.
And I have no idea what any of this means, but please continue.
Sure, it's a different language.
And he, while we're checking out, he goes, "You want to see what you're missing about that Angostura Amaro?" And I went, "Yeah, for sure." And then he poured me a sip of something that you didn't
or
even...
2 shots. Let's be honest. Like he poured himself one too. So it's like, okay, but I'm not going to refute anything else you said. But it wasn't a sip. It was like he poured. There were 2 shots in shot glasses, and you guys took them together. And you were like, "Cheers, bro!"
But then
you guys having so much fucking fun.
But then
I was sitting there like feeling left out, and now I just want to get your and seriously, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Look,
You're not wrong.
Here's the thing. They were talking. There was some preface to it. There was some
Definitely.
insider baseball going on. Like they were talking game. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't like oh, one for the road. You know, it was like here's that thing that we were referencing that
Right.
only another person who's well versed in alcohol would understand. So maybe if you knew what an Amaro, whatever the fuck
for all he
Stan
know,
was
I
talking
did.
about, yeah, maybe you would have got the shot or the sip or whatever the said beverage
Format was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. But then what was kind of made it worse was we went to my buddy Daniel's bar after,
And that guy was the shit.
and Daniel's the fucking bomb. Daniel's actually the best. And while we were leaving, we were like, "Oh, we're gonna go down to Waltz's," and he was like, "All right, drinks for the road." And then he was like, "How many you need?" And then just like started counting people and like pouring out shots.
For everyone. Oh, but see that. And he didn't know. He made the other guy look way worse by doing that. By giving you guys the fucking...
And look, I'm just saying it with the sheer social pressure. I would imagine if I was in that situation, I would be like, "Oh, I definitely need to pour a shot for this dude."
Yeah, right. Yeah, because... Oh, God.
And look, it wasn't like we hadn't talked. I had this whole moment with him. I was like, "You're Zane's friend, huh?" So you weren't even there for this. And we had this whole conversation about like, "Oh yeah, you know Zane." I was like, "Yeah, I'm Zane's best friend." And maybe that's why he was so pissed.
Yeah.
Because I took it
maybe.
and claimed it.
You were taking the best friend
I
crown,
love how
the
he's
award.
like pissed now.
Yeah.
Maybe he was.
Story
Maybe
has
that's what it
changed.
was.
He literally wasn't. He actually wasn't. He actually was not.
Story is
But for all
evolved.
we know, I'm trying to be charitable to him because if somebody pissed me off, I would go out of my way to. I would do that as yeah, fuck you, man. Like watch us take this shot.
I curl up so bad in those moments. Like if someone's ever like brought you to a party or something, and you just can't. You as the guest, you can't find like an opening in a
Common
conversation,
ground.
or you
Yeah.
can't. Or there's no connection, and you're just trying. And so, but you just end up standing there behind the guy that
Came
brought
here.
you. You know, and it's like he's trying to do other shit, and you don't want to like step on anyone's.
Like, I'm not gonna hold you back.
That
for
bar
that.
situation like reminds me of that. Like I would have just sunk into myself. That shit makes me so uncomfortable. It's fucking. Like,
I know.
Oh.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
I'm
why.
not really in on this. Yeah. So good.
Do people know what our friend in Japan's name is?
Oh,
We've definitely said it.
They definitely do.
He changed his IG, so I feel like it's fair game now. Trayer. I don't know if even we have a new wave. I don't even know if the OG
old-
people are
yeah.
still
We have like
like
a new base.
we have a
Yeah.
new fan base. which shout out, you guys are dope.
There's some OGs. Yeah, if this is your first Younger Hunger podcast, welcome, and we hope you have enjoyed it so far. And we love each and every one of you.
Welcome to All Talk.
And I'm not normally here.
Yeah, and this guy isn't.
I'm
I feel
not
like you're kind of, now that you're here, I feel like
This is the singer of
It
the
feels
band.
natural.
The singer
Yeah,
of the
that's
band.
true. The whole time.
We got Phineas out here right now.
Ghost Rider. I mean, our
Zane,
we
I
got
want to
videos
say,
on the pod.
I was watching that song that Kenny Beats produced for JPEG Mafia?
How did you just bring up
No.
Puff Daddy? You talking about that
Puff
one?
Daddy. I'm talking about Puff
Oh
Daddy.
no, you're talking about the Dots.
There's
freestyle?
this,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
this, no, I'm talking about Puff Daddy.
Okay, Puff Daddy. Yeah.
There's this one moment in the music video where Kenny Beats does this face where he looks exactly like you.
Okay, I'm so happy you brought this up because there are some people in like that I just feel like give me the same energy, and I've always felt like this ever since I've been introduced to Kenny Beats. I felt like for some reason I get a Zane vibe for some fucking reason, but no other than like they're like if they're like
No other than,
20
like-
feet away. In like a 420p video, I might confuse the two, but like no more than that. I don't think you guys have like a similar personality at all. I don't know what it is. There's just a Zane vibe that I get from that.
I
So-
just smoked a lot of weed and like drank a lot of caffeine.
yeah, you're just wearing snapbacks nonstop.
Yeah.
and you're like 6'8" or whatever the fuck is up with him. I don't know what the fuck it is.
tallest
The
man
fact
on
that you
earth.
brought up Kenny Beats. Because I don't think we've ever vocalized that to each other, so that really caught me off guard. I'm so
I
happy
think
you brought
that's
that
a
up.
compliment. I fucking love
Definitely.
him. I think
That's
he's a
gonna
Oh,
be
I
G.
love
great.
Kenny Beats too.
We
Yeah.
love Kenny Beats on this podcast.
But this
I
is we are
love
Kenny Beats
Kenny.
house.
I think what he did
Yeah.
for what he's been doing for music is great.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
Streams are
amazing.
fucking awesome.
He's
His streams
taken
are
down the
fucking
barriers. He's the
awesome.
only guy with the fucking balls to just post his secrets
Show his
and not
secret
care.
sauce. Yeah, like
and not be like care if people call him like a noob for the shit like how
That he
simple
uses
sometimes
or-
it is.
yeah,
That
yeah.
Mike Dean
Yeah.
gain station, though, you never know.
Gain Station?
It's his new plugin.
Wait, I thought Gain Station was Mike Dean's plugin.
It is. I said Mike Dean's gain station. He's sharing his sauce. He's giving it to the world.
Yeah, Mike Dean
for
couldn't
60
load
bucks.
up his own plugin because it took too much DSP. So I don't think anyone. The guy has a supercomputer, and his computer could not open his plugin.
Jesus.
Did you
On
see
a
that?
stream he did to promote his plugin, he's like,
plugin.
"Oh shit, doesn't work.
That's not a.
Fuck.
That's not.
All right."
That's not a good look.
Not a good look. Yeah, no,
It was
Yeah,
a
that's a
bad,
bad
look.
look.
And everyone who bought the plugin was like, "I can't use this.
There's
Impossible to use.
Sick.
It's
unusable.
unusable. You're paying $300 for a fucking distortion plugin or whatever. I don't know what.
That's
how much
fucking
it is. I'm
great.
making that shit
Well,
up.
Only Kenny's supercomputer can play it.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I didn't want to bring up the past topics, but I do feel like
Here we go.
if I wanted to touch upon everything that we have in this podcast, whether it's just some crazy whack shit,
Okay.
incel starting stuff up,
Okay.
artists, the artistic process,
Right.
and just the future of our society. What do all those things have in common?
Kenny Beats.
Jared
Leto.
Not far off. Not far off.
Guessing. Yeah.
I don't know. If there's ever a question on this
What is
podcast,
it?
the answer is probably Jared Leto.
Yeah.
We talk about
It's
it.
not far
you
off.
don't know
You're-
this, but we talk about him constantly.
Nonstop.
He's a genius.
Same universe.
We hate
Same
him.
universe.
Same universe.
Lady
okay.
Gaga.
That crazy motherfucker. Can't swear on here. That crazy guy Joaquin.
Oh.
His
I love
sequel.
Joaquin.
What is he
Phoenix.
doing this time?
His sequel,
Joaquin?
Joker 2, is coming out.
Oh, come on.
I was even closer with Lady Gaga.
He's gonna
With Lady Gaga.
With
Wait,
Lady
oh, wait,
Gaga.
what?
It's
And
a
I
musical.
wanted Tony's reaction.
Wait,
It's a musical.
Yeah, you
it's
didn't
a
hear about
fucking
this?
musical.
Wait.
Yes.
I'm kind of into it. I don't know.
What?
No, it's gonna be dog shit. What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like.
Wait, you can't curse on the podcast?
Oh, you
wait.
definitely can.
I've been
You're fine.
cursing
We
this whole
can,
time.
we can, we can.
Okay.
It's too late.
I said the fuck word. Like,
You
by the way,
said what
yeah.
word? I'm sorry.
if you
I
said
just-
if you say
No,
You said the F.
We prefer that you don't say fuck.
wait, did it sound like I said?
We prefer that you don't say shit. Doesn't really fly either.
Okay.
But, use to your own
Bleep
discretion.
yourself out. You're not supposed to say that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured out the hard way that we put this clip up where the thumbnail was the text saying I say the F word like every 5 minutes or something.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I
and
saw
people
that.
thought I meant the other F word.
Oh, no.
Well,
no.
no. Person thought I said I meant the other F word.
Yeah.
And I was, my heart broke.
In an effort of us trying to be trying to censor ourselves by saying fuck. It made it look so much worse.
But no. I mean, it's the fuck word. I should just say.
Let's just make that clear.
The
Now
fuck
that everyone's
word.
had 2 weeks
Not
to sit on.
the
it.
other horrible word.
A lot of the curse words share the first. We had another incident. I cut it out of the last episode, but we had another episode where there was a word that was so much worse than the word that we were censoring. And when I watched it, like with a fresh context, it looked terrible.
I don't even
It
know
looked
what you're
so
referring
bad.
to.
It
But
was.
I understand that you don't want to like bring it up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't bring it up. And you can't look it up either because it's gone. It's erased from the hard drives.
Erased.
Edited.
But-
Dude, I listened to this interview with Kevin Parker where someone was like, they were talking about like negotiate. He's like, yeah, you know, like I just don't like talk negotiation, you know. And then this lady was interviewing us. She goes, right, you never use the N word, and he goes, whoa. he's like, imagine people tuning in like right now. That's really weird. And then she didn't talk about it. She was like, so anyway, Kevin, you
Just moved on,
And
and
then
it's like-
he was clearly like fucked up by it. It was so
It makes
crazy.
him look so bad.
Wait, what? No. Okay, I've been hanging out with a lot of Australian people recently, which is random.
That's an interesting-
But the last week, I've spent 4 out of 7 days with an Australian person,
Okay, word.
which
That's
is weird,
straight.
right? That's the first time that has ever happened.
We're in America, by the
and
way.
I've noticed they say for some reason, both people who I was hanging out with, whenever they say the word water, they go water, and they say it like there's like a question mark.
Water?
Yeah, they always go up. They're like,
Huh?
so like I was trying to have a glass of water, and they always say it like that.
Yeah. You never.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice it was both people saying it didn't matter what the context was. Like, I really need to be drinking more water.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And so next time you're with an Australian person,
Yo, that happens all the
bait
time.
them into it. You know what I mean? Like, try to see if you can get them to say water.
But
And
maybe it's like
weird.
I don't know. There's like almost like a level of
Interrogatory.
positivity of it. You ever watch like old Steve Irwin Crocodile Hunters, where he's like about to get snapped on by an alligator? Like they like rip one of his fingers off, and he's like, "Whoa, that was fucking wild, mate!" And it's like always like cheery, and it's like, dude, you almost just died. Like you're fucking amazing. He's like bit by all these snakes. He's like, wow, this is crazy. Look at the way this one's biting.
He's a fucking king.
He is
He was
fucking
a
amazing.
king.
Yeah.
He is a fucking
Paradise.
king.
Yeah, that guy is a fucking
R.I.P.
legend, dude.
You know
Yeah.
what, though? I will say it's weird that the mom put Bindi, the jungle girl,
Yeah.
into her own show right after her dad got impaled in the heart by
I think it was a sweet thing. I
Stingray.
think they were trying to
the
you
family
know,
together.
remember his legacy, keep it going. Because he has a son now.
The kid is everywhere.
Yeah,
The
and,
son
he-
is
really?
and
everywhere.
he's like,
He was just on like Fallon or some
yeah,
shit.
he's 18 and is now like taking the role that Steve Irwin has, and they kind of have their own show. And it's crazy because the kid looks and sounds exactly like Steve Irwin.
No
It is
way.
Sure.
so it is just like
It's
it's like
crazy.
if Steve Irwin went back in time and was 18 now. It
I
looks
did like love that show, and I was devastated.
so
I was
good.
devastated when he died. I remember.
Yeah.
when
yeah,
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
fucking heartbreaking. If you were like our age, he was just like a legend.
Absolutely.
Like to everyone. It was so sick. Yeah. It's all about like conservation. He's just had the right mindset, you know. Shout
Yeah.
out to that guy. All Australians everywhere. We
I
love
will
you,
say
okay?
though, after he died, I tried to find the YouTube video of him dying. Like,
I think we all there was kind of
we all did.
everyone's like done that where it's like you're like, oh, let's go to Live League or eBaums World or World Star Hip Hop. See if we can find
eBaums.
see if we can find a
eBaums.
fucking like nasty smut video or whatever. Like
Snuff film.
Yeah, snuff films, just all that nasty shit. Yeah, fucking. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of
eBaums
other
World.
ones. Yeah, eBaums World.
Classic.
Yeah.
Remember funnyjunk.com?
Funny Junk was
Anybody
another
go
one.
on there?
Blacksheep.com. I remember
Yep.
that was one. There's all these like weird.
Pre-YouTube.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
wannabe YouTube.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I was thinking about earlier whenever we were talking about co-op, and
Yeah.
I remembered whenever we would have like computer class at Thurston
yeah.
at our middle school, and everyone would just be on addictinggames.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, addicting
Yeah.
games.
Playing that cube game where
You know what?
move
Actually,
the
what it
cube,
was,
you know what I'm talking
it
about?
wasn't addicting games. It was cool math games.
Cool math
yeah, and they
games.
framed it like cool math games so that the library like home-based computer
Yeah.
wouldn't flag it. You know, they would just
Right.
see, oh, cool math games. It's school related, so they can play cool math games, whatever. And what's funny you bring that up because I found out recently that they're still around. I guess I was just like curious.
Yeah.
They're still around, and they run like a very Zoomer trying to be hip like Instagram page where they post like memes,
What?
cool math memes. Yeah, like they're trying to like
Nice.
stay hip with the
I
current
love
kids.
that.
And I was
Oh,
happy
that's
to hear
sick.
like, man, the like cool math games, the scheme is still alive and well. It's like all these kids who don't want to play math related games can still go to cool math games. All this
Very
good shit.
sick.
But there's that one game that everyone played. You're the cube. You're like you're some I don't know, some like rectangle, and you have to fold yourself into this hole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, into the hole.
Any cool math game lurkers, you guys know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah,
that was
for
the best
sure.
game.
The best game.
Yeah, so
We should do a Twitch stream.
And I think Co-op is
we'll
also
speed
on
run.
that.
Yeah, we should co-op. Yeah, I think they
I think
did
it was
host like
also-
weirder like co-op and
You know what's
shit.
great about co-op? Like the answer was in the title. How to win the game.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
exactly. And exactly.
You just have to hit those letters, and then that's how you.
And then
that's
that's how
how
you do it.
Just the
QWOP, yeah.
controls.
You just have to do that. You flop around. And that's what I love about Gang Beasts almost in an opposite way is it doesn't give anything away from the title. If you hear the title, you're like, what is this gnarly ass?
And like the
bunch
EDM
of-
music that's
yeah,
playing.
it's like,
in
what is it, a bunch of gangs and like all the art on the main menu is like graffiti on a brick wall, and you're like, okay, we're doing like gang shit. And then you
Gang
play it,
shit.
it's like little Play-Doh men like slapping each other with like sausages. It's the weirdest thing. So yeah,
Sick.
shout
I
out.
can't wait.
They didn't give away their hand. Yeah,
No.
well,
Gotta
maybe
keep it
that's our
secret.
next endeavor. Is we need to, because we've already talked about it so much. We should stream Gang Beasts. Maybe get the people.
You guys should
involved.
make a Younger Hunger game.
Yeah, like
We done. We have a
several
few.
Beckett made.
didn't we have a we made some with filters.
I remember
Yeah,
the
we
filter
had,
ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
There were
we
some with
had
those.
the
Oh,
young.
those aren't good enough for you.
yeah.
Beckett
Okay,
works hard.
Zane.
Beckett, by the
That's
way,
not what he's talking about.
Lucas and I have nothing to do with these. It's just,
Yeah, that was all Beckett.
basically we were like, Beckett, it'd be cool if it did this.
Yeah,
And
we're
then-
just throwing
and then he
shit at
did
Beckett,
it,
and
so-
he's like, "Well, I guess I have to fucking figure out how to
Figure
make
out how
this
to
now."
do that.
It's like this thing we just thought up.
Just
in
to
our
be
heads.
really clear, Beckett's the only one who knows how to do it.
anything along those lines, we have no idea.
But we do have some games.
We need. I agree with you, Zane. We need like we need a big boy game.
We need
Like
contact
co-op.
We
Ubisoft.
need to make. I'm tired of waiting for Valve. We gotta take it into our hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need Left 4 Dead 3.
That's
We'll
right.
be the characters.
That's right.
Yes.
And us four
Us
will be
four
the
will be the
survivors.
I'll be
characters.
Ellis.
That would be
Yeah.
so
You know,
sick.
Oh, maybe you could just be Beckett. You don't have to be. Maybe you don't have to be. Yes,
So wait,
I
what were you
love that.
imagining? Like it would be like your name would be Ellis, but it would look like you.
Well, I was just
Which
saying
is weird
I,
because
I would
Ellis was the
be.
character for the second one, so there's already an Ellis.
Imagine if all the characters were named the same thing, but they just look different.
Oh my god!
And then
Look
everyone was
like
like, "Oh, those are just different people with the same name."
with the same name, that happens. I've met people with my name, so I mean,
What
yeah,
are the chances it would happen
Yeah.
4 times?
so
What would
frustrating.
that say about the lore?
It's another
Like
that
it
would be-
only-
And they
this shit
run
only
into
happens to
people
with
in
these
the game.
names.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. The reunion.
Yeah, you run into
The
the
great
old,
crossover.
and it's sort of like a who's on first situation. You could be like Ellis, and then the other Ellis looks, and you're like, no, me. It was talking
No.
to him. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. That'd be a good game, I think.
That would be
Us
a good
as-
game. I mean, I think we
What do
just
we have
wrote
to
it. We're just
do?
waiting for Ubisoft to contact us or
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah.
That happened to me in school. There was another kid named Lucas. There was like one other kid named Lucas in our class, and he was way cooler than me. And anytime someone would, people would clearly like try to refer to him, but I would always like turn my head, and
What's
it was
up?
like, oh, never. It was never
God
it was
forbid,
never
you're the
referring
that's
to me.
your name.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. I just look like super fucking lame right now. Like that one time where I waved at someone that wasn't waving at me.
Just say
The person behind
that's
me. I
the
had
worst.
Peter Parker. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had that Peter
The
Parker.
Peter
moment.
Parker. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in 6th grade.
The
it was
Toby.
terrible. Yeah.
Did you guys ever hug someone that wasn't was a
Holy
random
shit.
person?
Holy shit. I've had the situation where it's like, oh, yeah, like, oh, man, nice to see you. See you later, man. And you go in, like, what are we going in for? Are we going to, like,
For
dap
sure.
it up?
That
Are we
happens
going to
to me all
high
the
five?
time.
Are we going to do a shoulder hug? Are we going to do a full hug? Are we going to do... And it's like, it just ends with a mess, like, just a complete smorgasbord of just, like, fuckery.
Yeah.
Just like, I fucked up. I fucked up that social situation.
Yeah.
You gotta call it out. The worst is if you just ignore it.
If you,
You know, you gotta call it out.
I'm so dorky, and it's happened so many times that my method now is to be like, to try to like laugh it off and be like, all right, let's try again. Let's try that again. Let's try that again.
exactly.
All right, rewind. You take 2. You know, and try to like
you're,
make a joke
you're
out of
charming
it.
enough to make that work. But
Yeah.
what
But
I always
it's-
do, Zane, put up like if somebody puts a hand like this,
Okay.
what is your reaction here? You're gonna go like this, and then you're gonna hit that.
The thumb
right?
with the
Oh, and then if somebody-
But do you go
so-
for the bump?
But
So
do you
I
go for
always
the bump?
said, we
So
got it
I
on
always
camera.
check if someone goes back for the third. I'm looking for it.
Looking for the bump.
I'm looking for the bump just in case. But
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. I'm not gonna try to do the bump normally.
Right.
Right, you
Yeah.
want it done as.
But
just-
you are gonna. If somebody puts their hand like this, you're gonna do that. Then you're gonna slide out of it for the handshake.
Yeah, and then from there on, it's like wild.
Wild,
it's
Wild
whoever
West.
goes first. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like a quick draw duel. I feel that part. Like I've specifically left people hanging for exactly that. I successfully do the first couple taps, and then there's like a bump, a lingering bump at the end, and my hand's already down, and then I don't feel like it's cool to like bring it back up to like
Bring it
seal
back
the
up
deal.
and lay that on.
So
then you
it-
overcompensate.
yeah.
You do a mini explosion too.
Yeah, and then you kind of do like a, and then the other guy's like, "This fucker left me."
I gotta say,
hanging."
the
Yeah.
explosion is the most Becca thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Only back.
Well,
The only
it's 'cause
person in this
you're
room that would do the
embarrassed that you
explosion.
Yeah.
that you didn't. I mean, I'm the worst person to talk about this because I mess this up more often than not. I have when I go into my shift and like you have to like do it to like 10 different
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never gone through the whole line without fucking it up. But you know, I have a couple tips and tricks in my arsenal. You know, one thing that you can do if you don't know what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Is it gonna be a handshake? Is
Yeah.
it formal? Is it informal? You gotta hit with the squeeze. You gotta hit with
You gonna squeeze?
like that.
Oh,
Because
I know
oh,
that
oh,
means it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Then you stop the
Then
momentum.
it's done. Yeah, then it's
Uh-huh.
done.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like if you. That always strikes me as like I don't have enough time. We have stuff to do.
Well, you can give it like a hug.
We're
too,
not doing
you know?
much here, but
Like
we're just
a-
going like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
sort of like a sloppy little squeeze.
a squeeze. Like we
Uh-huh.
might not even lock eyes. You know, like
Yeah.
like
You,
kind of
you
a
can
quicker,
hold it if you want to hold it. It
But
could be a sentimental.
I've never held it and like looked at somebody, but I like that you'd have done that.
Well, the
I mean-
squeeze, it indicates a sort of finality. There's like it's like a resolving chord. You know, it's like it's
you
sort
know,
of
it's
like,
it's like a little hand hug.
yeah, it's like
That's
that's
cute.
the end. You know, I feel you. I think that
You're
conveys-
directing the situation and you're telling them it's over.
It's
This
over.
is it. This is the
This is
final
It's over.
finale. This is the grand
This
finale.
is all you get.
the crescendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I think that's a safe method.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that like I could say COVID saved me from was like now you could just bump most people and they get it. They won't
Yeah, I like
ask
the bump.
and they won't think you're weird
Oh yeah,
about it.
elbows became a thing too.
Elbows became a thing, but
Yeah.
even that's like fucking annoying because it's like I'm holding shit and someone's trying to tap and now I'm like,
By the way,
Yeah.
this is how much of a psycho I am. 5 days ago, I've had this pimple for like 5 days on my face. I don't know if you could see it on the
no
thing.
one could until now.
But please look at it because this is important for the story. I convinced myself about 4 days in. So yesterday, I've had it for 5 days, and I convinced myself I have monkeypox.
Why are we here?
Because I have a pimple on my face. But I'm gonna say if you Google monkeypox, sometimes it looks like a pimple. So it's just like
Right.
The frustrating part is because it's like anyone with a pimple could think they have monkey. You don't know. But
Yeah.
then
That's like-
the more research I did into it, which by the way was not readily available, it's gonna sprout multiple. It
Be like a
clusters in an
Yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah.
situation.
But I was
Yeah.
convinced for about an hour I had monkeypox and I'd been spreading it to everyone I knew. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm a monster. How did I not know? And I
Well-
freaked out. This is just a day in my fucking life, man.
That
now
is-
it's going, continental. It's going Australia now.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
gonna.
They-
I was so freaked out.
all
and,
over
And then they're just
scared-
going to need to drink some water.
Some water.
Some water? I was so scared of the. I think monkeypox. I'm gonna just matrix this shit. I'm ignorance is bliss. This shit. I'm gonna just say nah, it doesn't exist. Fuck it.
You don't know until you get the wrong pimple, man.
yeah, bro.
You get the wrong pimple and you're like, what the fuck have I done?
No, that shit is scary, dude. I don't. Yeah, and I don't know.
That's
anything
way
about that.
scarier than COVID.
And shout out
That's
to.
way
No,
fucking-
you don't die as much from monkeypox, I think.
I don't
I
know
think it's
anything about
scarier.
this.
Well,
I literally
I don't
that.
know.
Apparently, it's like 2 to 4 weeks of hell if
oh,
you get it.
fun.
Jesus.
It's
Great.
like you get these like smallpox type thing,
Yeah.
and then it's
Right.
and then it's over, and then they just fall off your face.
Oh, that.
But it's
Oh.
painful, itchy, it's terrible.
It's kind of like taking Accutane. It pushes everything out before it makes it
Oh god,
Accutane just dries you out. The reason I know that is because I took it.
Accutane was the fucking
Accutane did not
worst.
make me
God, is
suicidal.
that a real thing? That Accutane?
No,
Do they
Yes.
still give that to kids?
No. I took Accutane. I never took
I took
suicidal.
Accutane and felt suicidal.
Oh, you did?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Well, was that because of the Accutane?
Well, there is a correlation with it. Like they try to
I know,
ban it
I know,
every
I
year.
know.
Yeah. Well, it just fucks with your hormones so much. You feel like shit. I felt like shit the whole entire time I was on Accutane,
Me too,
and
I feel you.
I would get like 3 fucking bloody noses a day. It was
Oh,
like,
yeah. The
Oh,
chapstick. You got to have that
my living
chapstick
in
on
hell.
Fucking god.
and your face, your whole, like all of your
dries you out.
skin is just so dry. And I have this like, when people like rub their dry hands together, it like makes me kind of cringe. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that, like all the time.
Nonstop.
It was like a living fucking hell. It was the
You know
worst.
that, like when you're at
Wow,
the
it didn't
beach.
affect me like that.
Yeah, it was really
The
bad. for me.
Accutane was like the best thing that ever happened to me because my pimples were so painful. I told myself I wouldn't do it, so I had like really horrible acne for like 2 years, 3 years maybe, and it was just getting to this point where it was like I had such bad acne, it was like hurting my face all the time, and I was like I took Accutane for like 2 months and it was gone,
Yeah.
and it never came back.
Okay, so you don't regret.
No, dude,
Yeah.
it was great that I took it. So I don't know, but I didn't know. I always thought like I never knew anybody who'd like actually I didn't know it was like affecting you that gnarly. Now I'm like rethinking
Yeah, like-
all the people I've told like it was awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
You should do it twice.
Awful.
I mean,
I
I
just take it for fun.
I think as an adult, if I took it, I would be a lot more kind of like level-headed about it and know what I was
Right, you
getting
would
into.
understand.
But as like a 14-year-old, I was like, I hate everything.
Yeah.
It felt so bad.
I already felt like that though. I feel like maybe it just didn't make me feel
Any
more like
worse?
that.
Maybe.
So you're like,
I was
it's fine.
seriously depressed. I mean, like I was like very unhappy when I was like 14. Everyone, like, I don't know anyone who wasn't.
Yeah. Freshman, sophomore year of high school, baby.
Dude, if you'd never experienced that, you're kind of a fucking psycho. Like when
Yeah.
you're a teenager, like you have to feel like, the fuck, man, what is all this?
That's
Yeah.
I still feel like that. I hate that I still sometimes often feel like that. I feel like
Yeah.
a grown up teenager that never really grew out of it.
Yeah.
like MGK, man.
True.
It's just a kid.
He
The
grew
king,
into it.
Just a king at heart.
That's right. He grew into it.
Yeah.
Completely.
He never
focused.
got
One
over
day he
it.
was
Yeah.
emo. Yeah.
One day,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't him for his whole life until like 2 years ago.
All I know is his beard was weird.
Yeah,
And then-
yeah.
Do you guys remember? I don't know
some
if
keepers.
I don't know if anyone was like that into like all kind of like weird hip hop culture, but do you remember like the Yellow Wolf and MGK
Yes.
beat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I remember
Yeah.
the beef.
Yeah.
What was the beef?
There was a
Oh,
full.
see
The beef. Yeah, they had like crazy fucking beef. And when MGK was still like a rapper, MGK was like a rapper.
Yeah, he was like a full. When we were like freshmen in high school,
Yeah.
he was releasing mixtapes. Like I remember
Yeah.
him
Yeah, I
all that
remember
time
that.
ago.
Yeah.
Like this dorky rapper.
Yeah, Yellow Wolf was like coming out with like a diss track on him.
Yeah.
And then he did like a diss track about Eminem.
Remember that?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
blew him up.
That was a huge one for him.
I think that's kind of what blew him up.
That's
I
what
think
blew him
I
up.
think
Yeah, at least, like,
I
for
think his
now.
literally his whole
Kill
career
shot.
is yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
literally his whole career is that.
I thought that was fun, that whole beef, and I thought that when he really, I thought and I'm gonna make, I don't know if this is controversial in this room, but I do think he won that beef, and I think he won it when Eminem went on who did he commission to interview?
Yeah,
him?
yeah, I know
And
what
he
you're
was
talking
like-
about.
it's
It
just
was like
shut the fuck up, and then.
it was like Sway or something. He like,
But
he-
then then MGK went on Breakfast Club and he was like, "Spit it out, you little bitch."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought that
remember
was
that.
the
Yeah.
funniest thing I'd ever
what?
heard.
Yes,
You
yeah.
have to watch
It was a
this.
part of the. Yeah, it was like all their post beef interviews.
The
that they-
post beef is where I feel like
he shined.
And I will say this about MGK. You know, the dude worked his ass off. That guy was like, I remember he was like trending on YouTube at like after that, but before he did the pop punk shit, and he was like the #1 trending thing on YouTube because right when COVID hit, he was doing freestyles every day,
Right.
and posting them on YouTube.
What?
Yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah, he was.
I remember
that guy just
Doing as much as
grinded for
possible.
years and years and years and years until he got big and literally switched genres. It is impressive. And there's songs I like. You know, there's MGK songs I like, but yeah,
I don't know if I've
I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I literally have not listened to an MGK song
Yeah, I think
since he was
I've
a
only,
rapper,
like, hate
probably.
listened to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard
frankly.
it and been like, this is like catchy.
I do get the I swear to God
Yeah,
stuck in my
that's the only
head
one, yeah.
all the time. All the time.
Never fall in love.
His voice is so bad though. Right? Like he's like the
Yeah.
worst fucking voice.
I think there is
It is not good. Yeah.
I think there is like a really good argument to be made about like
I
the
like
shitty
bad
singer.
voices. I don't know.
Yeah, I like there's a
No.
lot of like people that have traditionally bad voices.
But
that
like the
I love.
traditional bad voice, like I don't know. This is probably a bad example, but like Bob Dylan
I knew you were gonna say.
is
Yeah.
of course. He's
He doesn't,
notoriously
though.
known as like having a horrible voice.
Right.
That's
yeah.
like a dumb. I feel like that's not true.
It is completely
But
true.
I feel like
You
it's
think?
known
Yes.
as whether it's true or not. It's still like that's what people say. Like,
That is totally what people
yeah.
say. There's no
So
doubt.
I
There's
feel
no
you.
doubt.
Have you ever listened to the Bob Dylan Christmas album?
Holy shit, that sounds great.
Are we talking about like recent Bob Dylan? Because it's just sad at this point. Because like he's so old.
No, I mean,
And Rich as
yeah,
fuck.
of course. yeah, yeah.
We're not allowed to shit on like rock legends. We're gonna.
I
get-
love Bob Dylan.
No, I
listen to
love
Bob
Bob
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah, I know.
I listen to Bob
he's
Dylan
the best
all the time.
songwriter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
People who are notoriously horrible singers, Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
is one of the world's best songwriters. You know,
Hey, I'm fucking watching The Wire, and Tom Waits does the theme song to the second season. Like it's the same song, but they get like
Yeah.
a different artist. And man, it's just like what you're saying. I don't love
Yeah.
the vocals, but the instrumentation like is really sick. It's
Yeah.
really
Tom
dope.
Waits is an
Yeah.
interesting one because he has like a beautiful voice. His first album is like kind of like soft and croonery,
Mm-hmm.
I
and
didn't
like
even
really
know that.
folky. But
Yeah.
then he became like,
Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so there's an intention there.
yeah,
you know?
it's like a
it's-
character.
Yeah, and I feel like
Cookie Monster.
he became the Cookie Monster.
yeah.
And
We sail tonight for Singapore.
ship is sinking.
King.
Yeah, so shout
You know,
out.
it's catchy though. You know.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
dope, sick bass line and guitar solo. So
What I wonder what song is on The Wire.
I don't know. I might be like some classic like soul song. I'm not sure. The you gotta
So
keep
are you
the
like-
devil way down in the hole? Something like that's how it goes.
Yeah,
But he
Yeah.
sings it like you gotta keep the devil.
yeah, that's it.
If just look up the theme song to the first season and the theme song to the second season, it's like some like soul artist. Like his guy has a beautiful voice in the first season, and then they switch to Tom Waits, and it's like, and it's just funny that you see the same song done
Yeah.
in two very different ways.
Very different ways.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
But Bob Dylan, like, he just didn't spend any time on his records, right? Like,
Yeah, he would write
notorious
songs in
for
like
just,
5 minutes.
He writes a song in like 2
Oh,
minutes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He'd bullshit
Really?
a bunch of
Yeah.
the lyrics, and he'd just record it, and then it's
Shut
over.
the fuck up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
Wow.
I was listening to. Look, I'm not trying to be basic, but truly, Like a Rolling Stone is like the best song ever, and I listen to it all the time. In addition
yeah.
to like Tombstone Blues and what is that one album I love? I can't remember the name. It's the one
Highway
with the red
61.
side. No. Yeah, that one, of course. But like the one with like it's like maroon on the side, and then the profile picture of
Oh.
his face that's drawn. I can't
Yeah,
remember the name.
the breakup album.
I didn't know it was a breakup album.
The like Blood on the Tracks or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I love that album too. But like, this was before auto-tune. This was before any kind of like pitch correction. His pitch is amazing. If you actually like his timing is all fucked all the time. But it's like he's doing like one take and he's like, that's it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I honestly, like, I remember as a kid thinking, like, fuck Bob Dylan, his voice is whack. But these days, I think it's beautiful. I don't know what happened. I genuinely enjoy listening to his voice.
His voice is beautiful. It's just not like
He wouldn't
what
win
you
American
would
Idol.
yeah,
Traditional,
Yeah, you know, it's
traditional
not-
beauty.
Yeah.
But
I agree though. There's like emotion.
for
drawn from
sure.
that.
Yeah.
That
I think like, the
being
tone
said-
is interesting though. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
At least it like I would rather listen to like Bob Dylan's one of my favorite singers because I feel like it's just he just sounds like Bob Dylan.
yeah.
You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
so much harder to do than to just sound like perfect and like
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, on that, and when we were talking about earlier about like songwriting and like developing a character, like that is 100% what, you know, like Bob Dylan's doing too. Like Tom Waits could sing this way, but then he adopted that character later on. Like Bob Dylan, you know, he sounds like that, but he also didn't have to sing like that. Like Bob Dylan's voice wasn't like, it was that and he did that, but like he has the Nashville Skyline album where he's singing like, oh, you know, like when Paul McCartney would do like his well, he has like a million different voices, but he was singing like in like a sweet country way. And so he didn't have to do that. And like that's just another thing, like you can like develop that character further. Like that was a character that Bob Dylan was playing.
Right.
Like maybe it was like he embodied it so well that like you associate with him. But like Tom Waits has become to known as that. Like think about like Britney Spears records. Like she doesn't actually sing like this. Like that no one sounds like that.
I think she does actually.
But she sings like if you listen to like other stuff, like she doesn't sing like that. Like that's like a character, you know? Like
Well,
she's apparently a horrible singer.
well, okay.
Okay,
It's
JT.
different from a character versus like you're just doing, like, okay, Britney Spears. Like the times change. Everyone was nasaled in the '90s. It's like you're singing a certain type of way. That
Yeah,
doesn't
that's what I'm
mean-
saying. Like
Well,
you're
that
putting
doesn't
on a
make it
voice.
character,
Right.
though. It's
When
not-
I say
you're not
character,
even
I
putting
mean
on a
you're still
voice.
singing on like in a style that it doesn't like you could. It's a stylistic choice, just like a character is like a playing a certain thing.
I don't know if it's a style. Sometimes it's just a subconscious thing. Sometimes it's just that's how you think you're.
Well, I
supposed
don't
to sing.
think I might not have been intentional, but my point being is that she didn't have to sound that way, and Bob Dylan didn't have to sound that way. You know, there's a lot of records where Bob Dylan doesn't sound like that.
I know what you mean.
You're gonna listen to Nashville Skyline
I
and tell me
haven't
that it
listened-
sounds.
Hey,
Like,
I'll say this: I have not listened to all like 62 of his albums or whatever. So
I do
really-
think
Hell
that
yeah.
I do think that Tom Waits is a really good example of that though, because
yeah, for sure.
Tom Waits is full like he doesn't have to sound like he's always doing a fucking sea shanty. You know? It's like-
yeah.
but he does.
It does.
you
It
know?
sounds like the Lighthouse soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's completely a fucking character, you know?
Right, that's
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah. We sailed night for Singapore. I used to love that song when I was in high school. Me and my brother used to wake up at like 6 a.m. to go to fucking 0 period PE, and we would like crank it and be like,
Tom
"We
Waits.
sail tonight for Singapore. Don't fall asleep while you're ashore."
Could it
The rolling. That's crazy.
could it also be like the
Psycho.
time like 90s that because also Randy Newman was like that same time and that it's like in my head occupies a similar space of that vocal style. Like it's just a different.
Singing styles going in
Yeah.
terms like think about in the
Weird.
80s, like the new wave when you would sing kind of like this.
your nose
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sing like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the 80s like voice.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much of that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe it is partially that as well.
for sure.
That shit is fucking
For sure. I mean, it's like
all
this.
the Cardi ripoffs now.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a similar kind of thing. Everyone's doing baby voice.
Well, it's the same
know?
thing with like synth music. It's like the tonal thing is like
Yeah.
a complete package, which
Yes.
includes the artist's voice.
But
What
I
is-
think it's like I don't even think that you know it's happening when it's happening.
Right.
Sometimes. Like I don't. Sometimes I'm singing and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you do kind of like. I do know what okay. So I'll do two sides of the argument. I think it's subconscious in the way that all of the music at the time is you're listening to all of the same music. So subconsciously, you are going to do something that is similar to another artist that you're listening to if that's what's so injected.
Or whatever you like.
What's dominating?
Yeah.
Yeah. What you're listening to, all that you turn on the radio and like that's what's on. But then I think that it also can be a kind of like intentional thing where you're like, I'm
Yeah.
making this to sound like an Avicii song.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure. But anyway, not just doing it like that.
That was probing something that we want to talk about, but we know we can't.
No, we're not.
Yeah. So we won't be talking.
Okay.
We are 2 hours in now.
All right,
there was
let's
a-
let's
We'll
end
cut
it.
it.
Let's
Oh
cut
my
it.
god, such a long,
My
such
life.
a long cast. We're at the edge of our. Yeah, we have to call it now before we get canceled. Well,
Sorry,
you
I
have
did
just
ruin that.
seen an epic two-parter. Fuck
With
the
Zane
Godfather.
Zane Alexander.
Yeah, no, dude, come on.
Hold on, let me do that again. With Zane Alexander.
Yeah. shit. Thank you, Zane, for stopping by.
Wow, thank you
Long
guys so much for
episode.
having me. This is fucking epic,
What
man.
a joy. What a joy.
What a joy.